Hi, everyone. Dr. Don here again. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's going on this week. I've been posting a lot of things, but I know it's probably going to be more helpful if I just talk to you directly and kind of explain the process and hopefully clarify it a little more than the documents do. First of all, backing up, I have found it just impossible during these first few weeks of the semester to find time to read through all the diagnostic essays. I still plan to, but just so I can get you a grade out there and get something posted on Blackboard, I went ahead and went through and gave everyone 98 out of 100 points on the diagnostic essay if you submitted it on time. If you submitted one late, you got 88, which would be a 10-point penalty per late submission. If you submitted late because you added the class late and weren't able to do it by the deadline, contact me so that I can adjust. There were a couple of people that didn't submit them, and if you want to talk about that, you can email me as well. I still do plan to go back and look at those because I want to comment on the content of them. Your futures that you were predicting, how you assess your own writing, your comparisons of yourself and a family member. I thought those would produce some interesting essays, and I do look forward to reading them. I've just had so many extracurricular activities going on this semester, helping arrange readings and going to a conference and a bunch of other things that it's really eaten into my time. But don't give up. I will get some responses recorded on there and let you know when those are available. In the meantime, moving on to the first major essay. This is the week for submissions. There are two drafts that are due this week. The review draft, I don't like to use the ROUGH word because that sometimes leads people to think, oh, well, I can just write any old thing. Your review draft should be as polished and complete a draft as you can possibly make it. When you get it in good shape, go ahead and post it to the first link after the diagnostic essay that you see on Turnitin.com. And again, there are instructions posted on Blackboard about enrolling in Turnitin and submitting to Turnitin if you have any problems with that. Once you've submitted, then you should be getting emails from members of your working group. There's a list of working groups posted under writing assignments, under the course assignments and materials link. And I've assigned you to a group with usually 2 or 3 other people. What I want you to do is to email copies of your review draft to the other members of your group, and you can do that through the email function under communications on the Blackboard menu. Go down, and again, there are instructions on how to do that, but you select the people that you want to email to, and then send them copies of your draft. So between Thursday evening and Friday evening, I'd like for you to respond to each other's drafts, and you don't have to take a great deal of time with this. I know your time is busy, or your time is valuable because you're busy, but take a few minutes to read through each other's drafts, maybe make observations about a couple of things that are really working well in the draft, a couple of things you like, and a couple of things that you think need some improvement. Send that back to each other, and then of course work on your revisions, and the revisions due on the Turnitin site by 9 p.m. on Sunday. I'm going to be out of town from tomorrow morning through late Sunday. I'm going to Washington, D.C. to a conference. I will of course be reachable via email at any time, so if you have questions or problems, just email me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'll be in sessions each day, but certainly there'll be breaks in between sessions, and the evenings I'll have time to catch up on email, and then when I get back late Sunday, Monday of next week, I'll post assignments for next week. So, and they'll be a little scaled back because I don't want to get back on Monday and then give you a ton of stuff to do. Mainly it'll be looking at some PowerPoints and maybe watching a video of me discussing some of the concepts in the PowerPoints. I guess that's all I have for now. Just a couple of other things. One, when I say an informal essay on Essay 1, that means it is okay to use first person. It's also okay, in my opinion, to use second person. I mention that because a lot of people were told by well-meaning high school teachers not to use second person, not to use the you perspective. Usually they tell you that because they don't want you shifting, from one point of view to another. But there are times when the you perspective, the second person, is entirely appropriate. So that's not a problem. Not a problem to use contractions. Again, it should be a kind of conversational tone, but of course is grammatically correct as you can make it, and hopefully with a smooth organization. When you post to Turnitin.com, especially if you've never done it before, don't be alarmed if you see something show up. I mean, you may see 3%, 5%, 7%, not even 9%. That's not cause for concern. There are so many millions of student papers on the database by now, and so many billions of documents on the World Wide Web, that it's inevitable that you're going to say something the same way other people have said it, and it's going to show up as a match. I don't even get concerned or even look at the originality reports on Turnitin unless something's in double digits. And even then, I've had papers that were 30%, a 30% similarity index, and when I looked through them, they were perfectly fine. It was just a lot of little examples of incidental wording that happen to match other papers out there. So don't overreact if you see even a low double-digit similarity index. It does not mean that you did anything wrong necessarily, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to think you're cheating. Okay, so I just want you to relax. Now, if you see a really high one, something that's 40% or more, then something's wrong, right? But other than that, just relax. I'll look at them if there are problems in how you're using your one text you're responding to. And believe me, I'll let you know and give you an opportunity to redo whatever part of the paper it is that's causing the problem. Okay, well, I hope that all makes sense. And I promise you that after I get back from this trip, I'll try to be a little more on top of things and a little more organized throughout the rest of the semester. So please don't get discouraged. I know I haven't taught an online class in a few years, and so I'm having a little trouble getting back in the swim of it and just keeping up on top of things. But be patient with me, and I think by the end of the course, you'll see that it's been a worthwhile ride. Okay. Again, if you have any questions or problems, just shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Take care. Bye.